I love that. So what I feel about self-care is, really just paying attention to the body and paying attention to what's going on. So for us, like just taking a moment, like in the morning, I love to at least meditate for like 3 to 5 minutes. I really love Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. And what he does in the Miracle Morning is he does all of the areas of self-care in like a 30-minute short routine. So it's meditation and silence, reading, writing, visualization, and then exercise. The one I don't always do. That's why I forgot it. But yeah, so I love just like taking that moment for myself in the morning, sitting in silence, feeling what's going on in my body, not resisting it. Like, and also sometimes in the silence, I will go into gratitude or forgiveness. So one of the things really quick about forgiveness is, a lot of times if somebody has done something to us, it doesn't mean that we're like excusing the behavior. It means that, they are feeling bad about themselves and it's just a projection. So it's like really not personal. So for me, like self-care in the morning is the most important time, and everyone does it at different times, but I just love to like really set the intention of my day.
Yeah. And I really love that distinction, because for me, what I love is making myself a priority, but giving myself permission to take what I need to really make myself a priority. And, that's going to change from day to day based on what's going on. Sometimes self-care will mean saying no to someone so I can say yes to myself. Sometimes it's about getting extra sleep. Like the most productive use of my time after this life is to go get some sleep. After we're done talking, I'm going to bed. So, other times it's about, let me call Fallon to get this fireside chat, the conversation that warms my soul. So it's definitely going to change from day to day, depending on what's going on or depending on what I need. But I really think it's really about just giving yourself permission. And like Fallon said, she talks about the miracle morning. For me, I love to include prayer, meditation, quiet time, reading my Bible. These are critical parts of my everyday self-care.
Absolutely. And I love how you said giving yourself permission, because I really feel like the oxygen mask theory, like we need to take care of ourselves and we need to be happy with ourselves before we can give to others. Because, people that are run down and depleted or, feel like they're just helping everyone else, not doing anything for themselves, they're not really going to be pleasant to like their kids or, their husband or even their dog, So I really feel like that is very important.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. We know that.
Exactly. And, I used to think that self-care was basically like all this beauty stuff, right? Because I do beauty stuff, and I used to, get my nails done, and then I would do the cryotherapy, and then I would do microneedling, and then I would do microdermabrasion, and then on my days off, I was just going, and I was literally exhausted. And then my therapist, Mary Myers, who's amazing, said, that's not self-care, because you are depleting yourself, even though you're supposed. I would be like, oh, I have to get a massage and I have to do this and that. And, I would judge myself a little bit for sounding like that. But really it's because I was running from one appointment to the next when it's supposed to be like a relaxing thing. So,
right.
Like, I like how you said, sometimes it's just sleep. Like, so on my days off, I just had to, for a while, because I was doing so much on my days off, I just had to do nothing. And like, that was really hard for me to say no, which we'll get into later.
Yeah. So in theory, you needed a vacation from your vacation. You were so tired.
Exactly. So yeah, so we missed this part, but I'm the self-care, I work in the field of self-care, inner and outer beauty, in my 12-week program, the New You School. So the reason that Roseanne and I got together is because she is a productivity coach. She was just in Forbes. So can you tell us a little bit about productivity?
Ooh, productivity, my favorite topic. So the first thing I would say is be unapologetic about making self-care a priority. Be unapologetic. But more importantly, you have to be intentional about it, incorporating it. So it's not just going to happen. You're not just going to magically have an additional 5 hours in your day. You have to set time apart. So for example, Fallon says she likes to do it in the morning. That's the best time for her to do it because not only does it feel good, but at least she knows she gets it done. So if you're feeling that you need something, I would suggest that you set time aside and just put it on your calendar, make a mental note of it, whatever it is that you need to do to make it a priority, set that intention that this is what I'm going to do. Whether it's 30 minutes of quiet time, whether it's a 15-minute walk, whatever that looks like for you, make it an intention. And what I've actually been advising my clients, even prior to the pandemic, is they need to redefine productivity. And in the same manner, they need to redefine self-care. I can't tell you what self-care is. I can't tell you, unless your finger's really jacked up that you need a manicure, but you know what you need, right? You know what you need. And there's so many things that have happened, like the culture, life as we know it. We've moved from working in an office or in a salon or in a spa to a home-based office or a home-based spa, so much has shifted. And I really feel like for moms, especially who went from homework to homeschool, you need to redefine productivity. What should that look like? Only you can make that determination. And the last thing I'll say is the reason it's so important for you to redefine it is because it's personal to you. So for example, I support essential employees. So I'm working from home. Right now is not downtime for me. I'm not sitting at home painting my nails and doing homemade mess. I am working twice as hard because I'm working my full-time job. Even though I'm not commuting, I'm teaching my 5-year-old son, teaching my 3-year-old son, talking to my husband, catering to his needs, cooking up a storm. So that's one of the things I weighed in on for the Forbes article, just saying, all these posts that talk about if you don't come out with a new skill or a business or a book, then you wasted the time. I could not disagree more. Do not allow social comparison or the internet to pressure you into walking a path that's not for you.
I love that. I think that's so important because everyone, I think, compares. I mean, it's just like human nature.
Yeah,
And we have to really catch ourselves when we do that.
absolutely.
I
And
love
I'd love for you to weigh in too, Fallon. Like you just launched the new school and you're the self-care expert. So tell us, like, what do you think is important? Like, what is this intersection between self-care and productivity? Or what are some tips that you give to someone who's even struggling?
So I really like when everything in life is balanced and, we're never going to stay at a perfectly balanced spot. Like we're always going to tip one side or the other. But the point is like recognizing when we get too far on one side or the other so that we can start going in the other direction. So it's like if self-care is relaxing and we want to sit on the couch for 3 days and watch Netflix, then eventually we're going to be like, okay, this is too much. Like
Right.
now let me do this. And some people like me are very extreme. Like do nothing or everything. And I used to beat myself up about that. I'm like, I don't want to be black and white thinking or extreme. And, for some people, I've just accepted that about myself. For some people, like that is my balance. Like I'm going to go this way until I need to go this way. And some people, it's more like this. So it's really like, even if you're, swinging rapidly like me or someone that's just shifting slightly, the point is you want to have all areas of life in order and in
Harmony.
balance. So like for me, if I work for 3 days crazy, but then I spend 3 days cleaning my house and doing dishes, it's still getting done. It's just in like larger amounts of time. So some people are really great at splitting up their day into small pieces. But what I teach in the new school is like, we really want to make sure that every area of life is in integrity. So your finances, are they aligned with your priorities? And are they, do you have a budget that you're following? Clearing clutter. Like I have like a quarter of my stuff that I used to have, and that frees up so much space in my life for new things. And, do you feel good about how you look? Do you have healthy relationships? Are you happy? Are you excited about things? Are you checking off your bucket list? Or if you died tomorrow, would you have any regrets? So it's really about making sure all areas of life, I feel, are in order. And that is the intersection between self-care and productivity, because if you're working so hard to get all these things in order and you don't have time for yourself, that's not balanced either. So I'm just really about figuring out what works for different people. And I know you are too, because that's what you specialize in as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like
And
she
I think we should.
the other day, I hate doing dishes, and she told me to buy plastic or paper cups. And I was like, oh, the environment, I don't want to do that. And I felt guilty about it. And then I found like biodegradable, compostable forks, napkins, cups, plates, bowls, like everything. And, I was like, oh, but then, still the factories and stuff for like producing them. And my friend was like, yeah, but you're using like a lot of water when you're washing dishes. And I'm like, yes. So just that one thing that she told me is going to save me like so much time. And some people are like washing dishes, that's silly. But if like I can just not have to do that. I wash one pot now, you know what I mean? Ginny uses 4 bowls a day. So I'm really excited. Like little things make such a big difference.
Absolutely.